This is ESBR Boxing. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Mr. Dean Whyte. Dean, good to see you. It's been a while. I'm good. How are you? Not seen you for a while.
Yeah, you know, I've been dealing with stuff and going through things. I just took a little bit of time away from media side and just kept focused on my show and growth and healing myself and doing stuff with family, you know what I mean? But we're slowly coming back out of the show. The shows are coming back. We had a show Saturday, amazing, great, sold out show. We've got another one announcing today or tomorrow, July the 27th, back at the Tower. And we're looking for a great night of action, great fights and great night, man, for boxing fans. They win, you know?
Great, fantastic. Well, you've been missed, and it's good to hear that Black Box have got another show coming up in July. Really looking forward to it, really hoping to make it to that one as well. Of course, we're in Croydon today. Chris Smith, Richard Riakporhe. 2 days out now, Dean. Where's your head at with what you think is going to happen on Saturday night?
Look, these are probably some underestimated fights when people look at them. But if you understand boxing and you know the names that are here, these are great fights, going to be great action. Chris Smith, he is what he is on the tin, world champion, dethroned. Lawrence Okoli was a long-standing world champion. Richard Riakporhe, we know what he is. He's an undefeated fighter that carries immense power. Seems to be developing under Angel and doing his thing and locked himself away in the lab, building and growing. Hopefully, he doesn't get happy with looking for right hands and just working on power shots. I'd like to see him work behind the jab and boxing ability, maybe trying to go to the body and break him down differently and kind of trick him into the right hand. Do you know what I mean? Because you're going to have to set that up. I'm sure those McGuigans, Shane has probably set up a great game plan like they did against Okoli. And we're in for an interesting fight. But the only thing I'll say is Chris Smith is a tough motherfucker. He's going to walk forward all night, but Richard can punch. It's not Okoli, it's different punches. But I'm sure he knows that because he's been in there with him, he shared the ring with him already. In a very close contested contest at that time, and Richard got the nod. So, I mean, we're in for a great fight. I'm sure the game plan will be similar. Walk forward, try and break the will, try and break the heart, and see who the fittest of the two, the battle of the fitnesses. But I think we're in for a great fight, man. I think we're in for a good, solid fight. And that's the same with Isaac, man. That fight is absolutely tough. For me, I'm not sure who made him pick that fight to fight Massey. I think you know, Massey, he's a solid competitor. I think they should have looked for someone else. You know what I mean? He's had a lot of experience. He's the former world champion, weren't he? IBO world champion. He fought Josie Parker. Great performance in the later rounds as well in that fight. I don't know, man. Isaac's my man. I'm going to be rooting for him to win, but it's a fucking hard fight. So, but Saturday night, man, yeah, it's all to play for all these boys. I mean, those are two solid fights on the main event and the co-main event. Great fights for fans, you know, and hopefully if they turn up in their droves on Saturday, I don't know. I heard there's what was it, 9,000-10,000 so I think it'll be a decent setup. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens. But they're in for a great night of action from the two South London boys. No. Let's hope they both win. No,
fantastic. I was going to ask about Isaac Chamberlain, but you've answered the question for me, Dean, so appreciate that. And of course, he's in a very tough fight. Moving away from Saturday night, I'm sure you've seen the video emerged of Tyson Fury this week. Was on a night out. Were you alarmed by that? Did you think it's just part of his out of camp?
I wasn't alarmed by it, no. Do you know what it is? For me, Tyson Fury's been at the top of the game for a long time, and now we understand he suffers with mental issues, you know, going through stuff. And this is another hurdle he's going to have to go through in his life, you know, losing. This is the first time he's lost, and now he's got to come back from the clutches of defeat and rebuild. But for me, personally, like I said to the other fella, I felt a draw would have been the perfect result in that fight. I think Tyson Fury boxed exceptionally well in about 3 or 4 rounds, and it was literally a shutout until he got caught in that 9th round. I understand people's mindset because of the 9th round. People say, oh, he got battered. Yes, he did, but it was literally a matter of a few seconds, and the ref done a great job by showing his experience, looking at the clock and understanding what it meant to the lineal champion and the unified champion and what was on the line and the magnitude. So that was an experience, as someone who's not experienced would have just stopped that. If there was a minute and a half, then I would have kind of leaned towards the same thing. But for me, I think that is just Tyson Fury letting off steam and having a blowout, and I think we'll see Tyson Fury back in the gym, like I did actually online now, saying he's back in the gym and he's working. I think sometimes in life you need to blow out to come back and reset, and I think that's what he's done.
I know the rematch is ages away now, it's not until December, but where's your head? Do you think Tyson Fury can turn this one around and beat Alexander Usyk?
I think if Tyson does what he did in those middle rounds and early rounds, I think, and forget the showboating. sharp shot. Remember Old Trafford? Remember Man United back in the day with Fergie? You know what I mean? Squeezy bum time through the bus in front of it. You need to lock up shot and give him fuck all, give him nothing. And not box on the back foot. He needs to push Usyk back a bit. And you know what I mean? Because basically he had to work so much as a big guy using his legs, and he ran out of gas a little. He got tired. So I think he needs to kind of box and try and push him back, use his side, lean and push him with his shoulder and trying to counter off that. But look, it's easy said than done. That is one hell of a talent, Usyk. And you know, it's a credit to the sport of boxing doing what he's achieved and done in the sport. So, you know, it's easier said than done. But this is what I'm saying. I'm obviously always going to be leaning. I like what Usyk's done, but I'm going to be leaning with Tyson Fury.
No, of course. Just a couple more from me, Dean. From a fan's perspective, is Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, is that a fight that appeals to you?
I mean, I'm a boxing fan. I'd like to see. But obviously, Daniel's the new guard coming through. But do I think he's progressed enough to beat someone like Anthony Joshua? No, I don't. I definitely feel he's progressed. He's got some great wins. Miller, Hrgovic. You know, I betted against him both times and lost my money. So he's proved me wrong. But I mean, credit to him. I mean, he is actually one of the youngest guys that's most improved under Don Charles. Don Charles has done a great job with him. But Joshua's improved under the guys he's with recently. So I think Joshua's got that hunger, that killer instinct back. I can't see him beating Joshua.
Fantastic. Final question from me, Dean. We've seen Deontay Wilder not look the best in his last couple of fights. Got stopped badly against Zhang a few days ago. What does that do to his legacy? Because he's gone from this kind of massive feared puncher to kind of not really winning a round over 2 fights. What does that do to Deontay Wilder's legacy?
I think, look, the fear factor with Deontay Wilder is gone. It's left the building, man. No one's scared of him. I think the killer instinct in him, there's something wrong with him. The Tyson Fury fights has taken a lot out of him. And I think life, when you evolve, you get older, you become less of that monster you was as a teenager, as a youngster. He's got a family, young kids and so on, so he doesn't want to be that tough guy, that killer anymore. I just don't think he's got it. He's trying to portray that sometimes, but it's not in him. Zhang's a fucking big problem. He's a big old unit and he's a dangerous motherfucker. Anyone, you need to stay away from that big old unit. I know Parker beat him, but Parker's on an exceptional run as well.
Dean Whyte, thank you very much for your time.